You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. This is Brian Fullerton here, hanging out with you guys in studio, at home, finally back in town. We've been out of town on a trip, I think once a week, every other week now for like the last 2 months, and it's kind of getting old. I feel good being back home. I love being back home, and it's always exciting being home because I get to hang out with my wife, get to hang out here. It's kind of home base, and I get the home field advantage. Amen. Well, on this episode today, I want to talk to you guys about customer service, and I want to kind of approach it in a fun, lighthearted way with about 4 or 5, maybe 6 different little stories here about good customer service experiences and bad customer service experiences. And here's why. A lot of folks ask me, hey, do you have any tips to grow your business, or what's your biggest tip to win or grow or succeed? Like, we get that question literally 10, 20 times a day between YouTube, Instagram, and email. A great question to ask. Why wouldn't you ask that question? Who doesn't want to win, grow, and succeed with their own business, whether lawn care, landscaping, or otherwise, right? Well, I think there's a lot of typical answers that folks, will dish out. You got to have good marketing. You got to have good branding. You got to do a good job. You have to have quality work. All of that stuff is so right, so true, and awesome. What I want to do is talk about something a little bit different, and that is just simply kind of, dial it down, slowing down. What do they say? Slow down to speed up, and talk about the fact that you can have good customer service, and good customer service is a great way to grow your business. And I don't care if you have 1 customer or 100 customers. In fact, before you maybe try to go get 100 new customers, maybe figure out whether or not you're taking care of those first initial customers that you have. So here's the whole point. Liz and I, like I said, we everywhere we go, Liz and I, like, we got the antennas up, right? I'm doing little like wolf ear things on my fingers, It's like, like we're always paying attention. We're always observant. We're definitely people watching people. And I think I joked about this on a podcast before. Liz and I will go to the mall, and we don't go to the mall to buy stupid brands to impress, people we don't know with money we don't have, that whole deal, right? We don't go to the mall to buy, the nicer things. We're actually like low-key people. I know it sounds like we might not be, but, well, he drives a Tesla. Yeah. Okay, cars are my thing. Watches are my thing. But outside of that, I don't care about shoes. I don't care about clothes. I don't care about any of that mess. So Liz and I, it sounds kind of weird and morbid, I guess, saying this out loud. But what we'll do is when we go out and about, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just like you guys do. We'll go to Barnes & Noble, go to Applebee's, and, go to the movies or go to the mall. And, what we love to do, and this sounds kind of funny, what we love to do is we just people watch. We just watch people, watch what they do, observe people. And I don't know, you guys ever do that here? Like when you're at the mall and they got the big leather sofas, you just kind of sit down, chill out while, your wife's at Lush picking out these, pink, bombs or whatever they're called, bath bombs. Well, I'm just like watching people. I just love watching what people do. And so Liz and I, everywhere we go, we love watching how people interact, how people engage. And I don't know, we're just people watching people. And what we do is all the time, we have life experiences. We have circumstances that happen to us, or things that we happen to be involved in, or things that we create. And so here's what I'm trying to say. When we have interactions with our insurance agent, I'm always paying attention. When we have interactions at Chick-fil-A, Liz and I are always paying attention. Did you see how they do this? Did you see how they did that? Man, that was really good customer service. Man, that was kind of weird. When we fly with Delta, when we fly with American, when we fly with United, we are very observant with how that goes. I got a couple good stories. When we are trying to buy our last car, some interesting things happened. Like, it's really, really interesting. I've said this a lot in the last couple months. It's shocking to me how little customer service out there really truly exists. I mean, honestly, the world just went through a pandemic, and you'd be surprised to realize how few people, actually have customer service to earn the business, to ask for the business, to get the business of people that want to spend money with them. It's shocking. I'm going to talk a little bit about restaurants, and then also just some interesting observations from somebody who has it going on, that it seems like everything that they do right now is that they touch turns to gold, and that's the Chip and Joanna Gaines folks. When we were down in the silos down in Magnolia, over in Waco, Texas, we have a live event that we're doing hosting with the Almonds called Together in the Trades. It is a summit for couples in business to help them with their marriage, to help them work together with their spouse. And the idea is, it's tough. It's tough running a business. It's even tougher running a contractor business, lawn care, landscaping, hardscaping, blue collar. And the divorce rate in this country is like 50%. And in the contractor world, it's probably even higher. We have some great guest speakers coming in. We have the Spencers, we have the Almonds, Liz and I, and we don't have it all figured out, but we have learned a couple lessons that Liz and I have been married for a few years. We want to pass on some ideas. The Almonds have been married for a little bit longer. They want to pass on some ideas. The Spencers, some ideas. And then we have some other great guest speakers coming in to rock the house. So we want to talk about all these little customer service experiences and just draw some parallels, draw some insight from the way people have great customer service and horrible customer service, and find out, listening to this, what would you have done? Would you have reacted the same way? Would you have interacted the same way? Would you have handled the situation the same way? Because as a small business, as an entrepreneur, right, the number one thing you want to do is have satisfied, raving fan customers. You want to have customers that love the experience. They love the product. They love the service. And you have them come back day after day, week after month, year after year, with trying to buy more products and services from you, right? And so people are like, well, I got to do this and I got to do that. Hey, why don't you just start with making sure your customers are happy and you're treating them world class, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about on today's show. I am going to go pretty quick on this one. I'm not going to do a huge, lengthy episode. I'm going to do my best to hold myself to the fire, my feet to the fire on that promise. But by the time we're done, I think there's going to be some really fun lessons learned about customer service. Whether you've been in business for 1 day or 10 years, I think you're going to learn a little bit more from this whole show. So without fail, let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer. I'm actually double fisting here, by the way. I don't know if you guys can hear this. I've got the Tim Hortons coffee first thing in the morning. We got the Essentia water. I'm double fisting. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Just kidding. Jacked up on Tim Hortons coffee. But actually, funny story. Right now, Liz is upstairs. I actually have her cleaning girl over named Gabby. She's an amazing girl. She's been cleaning her house the last couple months. And this is like a whole different new way of life, right? Well, funny story. When I was upstairs, I said, well, I got to go in the studio to go shoot my podcast. I go, it's like freezing cold down there, man. It's still 20, 30 degree days in Michigan. So the garage gets pretty cold. And one day we have this, beautiful home that we're looking to build this summer. And I said, I can't wait to have my, awesome studio in the basement, and it'll be temperature controlled, it'll be nice and warm. And I said, it's going to be awesome. And Liz and her infinite love, by the way, we'll talk about this at Together in the Trades, but she just starts making fun of me. She goes, I'd have to go down in the garage with my little cooler and my little igloo and go shoot a little podcast and teach all these people how to be successful. And I go, what? I go, what did you just say? And she goes, and so Gabby goes, tell them all how to be successful. Rock it, honey. Go get it. And I'm like, you guys are ganging up on me? I'm like, come on, I'm trying to help these people have a more successful business. And they just started making fun of me. And I said, hey, I'm trying to give them the sauce, okay? I'm trying to help these people grow. And they were just, poking at me. And I said, hey, what happened to hey, honey, if anybody can teach these people how to be successful, it's you. Or, hey, honey, way to go having the most successful podcast ever. Yeah. I'm like, what the heck, man? So they're throwing me under the bus. So I guess the long story short, the moral of this story is my wife has bad customer service with me. So, anyway, I'm just having fun. All right, this is going to be a jazzed up episode. You guys can tell I'm excited to catch up with you guys. We're back to the regular show, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer, hear from the show sponsors, the show announcements, and then we're going to come right on back.
You love being outside, breathing fresh air, and making your clients happy with a beautifully manicured lawn. I love the smell of freshly cut grass in the morning. Marketing, not so much. Visit L'Entrepreneuracademy.com as we have just added 11 new postcard designs to go along with the 4 seasonal card designs from last year. Get new customers with these world-class, attention-grabbing promotional pieces showcasing your services. These postcards are print-ready with amazing pictures, and we have a professional printer ready to serve you. Just add your specific info, have them printed, pass them out to prospective customers, and grow your revenue and profit. New postcard designs include sod install, walls, paver patio and retaining walls, irrigation installs and repairs, fertilizer and weed control, aeration and overseeding, mulch installation, hedge trimming and pruning, and many more. Brian also provides a 15-minute training video to walk you through the process and maximize your marketing efforts. Go to the next level with these 11 new eye-catching postcards exclusively at LawEntrepreneurAcademy.com. LawEntrepreneurAcademy.com.
All right, guys, let's just jump right back into it. Let's talk about customer service and some, fun things that I've observed over the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months, really even the last couple of years. So, number one, when we talk about customer service, customers have an interaction. They have an interaction with you from the moment they call, they text, they email, they see your Facebook post, your Instagram post, and the customer has an experience when they go to the website, they call the phone number, they buy the product. They have an experience when the product is shipped, when they get the notification that the product or service is shipped, or you're on the way, or whatever. You have a customer experience when they get the product, service, or experience, or go to the place or event. They have the experience after the fact, which is often forgot. They have an experience a week later when there's a soft touch follow-up. There's an experience 2-3 months later when they're telling that story at a barbecue, at a restaurant, about something they did, something that they had, something that, affected them or they purchased or they enjoyed using, right? Well, what I want to talk about is some interesting, just some observations. Let's just roll through this. I don't know how this is going to go. I just wrote down some different ideas, and that's how it works on the podcast, right? We don't take notes. We don't have this scripted out, talk. We just shoot it, real talk. So Chick-fil-A versus McDonald's. This is the first thing I wrote down. The customer service experience from Chick-fil-A to McDonald's is the most polar opposite, the most dynamic difference of a customer service interaction that I've ever seen in fast food. Like Chick-fil-A, you walk up, it's P's and Q's, it's thank yous, it's hi, welcome to Chick-fil-A. How can I help you today? Oh, I'll get a 12-piece nugget. We'll get the chips instead of the waffle fries, and I'll get a medium Coke. My pleasure. Absolutely. No problem. Is that all today? Can I interest you in a cookie? Can I interest you in a lemonade? Or can I interest you in some sweet tea? Very, very different than McDonald's, which is, hi, what can I do for you? Is that it? Are you done? Okay. And then you get to the window, 741, please. And it's like, dang, dude, zero customer service. Now, McDonald's doesn't bank on customer service. Okay. McDonald's banks on, cheap food fast. That's what McDonald's business model is, right? It's not even healthy food that's cheap and fast. And there's not even cheap anymore. It's just garbage food fast. They know that you're on a time crunch. You need a double cheeseburger to hold you over till dinner at 6. And that's their business model. Chick-fil-A, from the whole customer service experience, has figured out a way to create a system that they can put any 16, 18, 25-year-old kid through that training program, and they come out, yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, ma'am, my pleasure. How can I help you? No issue at all. When there was inside dining, not inside outside dining, by the way, but inside dining is when you eat inside the restaurant. I know it's kind of different for some of us Midwest folks who are under, the lockdowns, but you can actually eat inside a restaurant, not outside the restaurant, inside the restaurant. But when you used to be able to go inside the restaurant, I would always see the Chick-fil-A girls or the young boys, 16, 18, 20-year-old kids, and they would come up to the table. Hey, can I get that out of your way for you? Hey, do you guys need a refill? Hey, do you guys need any more sauce? They would walk around the whole dining room and try to help with that customer service experience. Let me ask you this. When's the last time you ate inside a McDonald's? Which, number one, why would you? It's dirty. It's loud, kicking, screaming kids. By the way, the exact same people and customers go to Chick-fil-A. But it's just such a nicer, more controlled environment. It's almost like hey, respect yourself, put on your, respect your manners, be a normal person when we're in this restaurant. Don't embarrass me. Or to my Midwest people that grew up with the switch and the bell, don't embarrass me when you're in here. That's how it feels when you go into Chick-fil-A. McDonald's, rock on the seat, spin the seat all the way around, damage stuff, break stuff. Nobody cares. Throw the ketchup packet on the floor. 8 people walk on it. And that's just like your idea of McDonald's. When's the last time anybody that you were at McDonald's came walking through and said, hey, how was your food? Hey, you guys doing great? Hey, I'll play with your baby, wiggle, goo goo gaga. No, none of that stuff ever happens at McDonald's. And who's crushing the game right now in customer service? Who's crushing the game in, new stores being built? Who's crushing it with new sales and, positive press and PR? Whose per store average is going through the roof? Chick-fil-A. My Chick-fil-A by us, by the way, and I'm a Chick-fil-A junkie, but I'm also a Chick-fil-A fanboy, not because of the food, but because it's a great business model. Chick-fil-A by us has been open since, I think, June last year. So we're almost coming up 9 months, almost a year. That store has been 2 rows deep, 2 order lines, right? 2 lanes deep, 100 cars deep, minimum half-hour wait every single day, open to close 6 days a week. I mean, little folks, like 7, 8, 9 a.m. or whatever when they open. I'm talking till 9:30 at night when they close. Half an hour minimum. Usually it's an hour. I mean, Liz and I have waited in that line for an hour and 20 minutes multiple times. Hence why you get the Tesla, because you get all the fun entertainment games. It's been double line deep, 100 cars deep, a minimum half hour to hour wait every single day for 9 months. Okay, they actually parked a semi-trailer out front in the parking lot, and we saw them carrying extra buns, extra eggs, probably extra chicken nuggets, out of that huge semi-truck trailer that they probably have to get on site because their coolers would never keep up with the food demand. And you go to McDonald's, literally where we live, there's a mall, and on the other kitty corner side is a McDonald's. And that McDonald's is 3 cars deep and gets your order wrong every other time. That's McDonald's, right? So interesting customer service experience, interesting customer service observation, people watch. What can you learn from Chick-fil-A? From me, P's and Q's, man. Please, thank you, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. When you're talking to your long customers, we got guys that listen to the show, they're power washer, pressure washer guys, dumpster removal businesses, hardscapers, landscapers, all kinds. Some folks listen to the show, they don't even have a business. They just want to be encouraged and motivated, and they have a corporate career. Okay, a lot of folks that listen to the show, all different breadths. And if you do, thank you for listening. Like it's so cool to have you guys on the show. What can you learn in your business? Are you saying P's and Q's? Are you saying thank you? Are you actually appreciating the customer? Are you thankful that they're there? Okay, let's keep going. I want to talk about restaurants. Restaurants I have the most credibility out of anybody on this planet to talk about restaurants. And here's why. I eat out literally 7 days a week, and I really eat out out of 14 meals a week, lunch and dinner. I eat out 11 out of 14 times. I mean, literally, I come from the school of thought, I'm trying to become a millionaire. And my time is money. And so I'm not going to spend an hour cooking dinner or a half hour cooking dinner. I'm not even going to spend 20 minutes cooking, making a stupid turkey club sandwich out of my fridge when I can have Jimmy John's deliver it because my order's on auto reorder. Okay. I'm crazy. I get it. But my belly's showing it a little bit. So we'll get to that later. I had a guy roast me in my DMs, all you do is eat out and you're unhealthy. And I'm like, dude, it's called balance and counterbalance. I said, I'm going to work out. I'll be fit as a fiddle by the end of this summer. I said, but my wallet's getting swole. And this guy's some broke joke, dude, DMing me. I'm like, get away from me. So I feel like I have some good credibility talking about restaurant experiences because I go to them all the time, whether it's a Chipotle to a B-Dubs to a whatever. Liz and I enjoy eating out. We don't just enjoy eating out to gouge our face full of food. It's because that's gluttony. I'm not about that. Liz and I love getting together with people. And when do you get to hang out with your friends? Typically, you break bread. Typically, it's over food. So whether we cater in some pizzas, whether we, get a couple pizzas in or we go out to, a little bar restaurant, a little Italian restaurant. Liz and I come from the school of thought that if you're going to eat out with somebody. One, you can probably write that off, talk business. But number 2, if you're already going to eat anyway, try to eat with somebody and build a relationship. Build a relationship with a subcontractor. Build a relationship with a couple friend. Build a relationship with somebody who can be a mentor. If you're ever eating, try to eat with someone. Okay, and you're like, well, that's a little bit more time, a little bit more convenience. Not really. Even if you get together with somebody for a half hour in your town, they cut grass, you cut grass. Hey, dude, you want to go get some, chicken tenders and French fries at lunch? Awesome, dude. Let's go stop in at the local diner for a half hour, the local Applebee's, in and out for a half hour. Exchange info, learn from each other, get motivated, get encouraged. Anytime during the summer I can do that, we always try to do that. Well, let's look at another customer service experience. Restaurants have been struggling more than anything the last 12 months besides maybe hotels, movie theaters, and bowling alleys, right? At least up here in Midwest. Now, I know you guys down in Tampa, Florida, you guys have been open this whole time. It's been, it's amazing. The last holdout of the Freedom State. It's of the country. It's amazing. I love Florida. I went there for the Hype House a couple weeks back in Tampa, and absolutely amazing time. Well, restaurants in Michigan have been closed, open, closed, open, indoor, outdoor dining, carry out only. Then you can sit inside, then you couldn't sit inside, then it was carry out. And that was after they were closed for 2 or 3 months. So let me ask you this. Outside of any business in the Midwest, I'll talk about Michigan because Michigan's been, the lockdown, the land of 1,000 lockdowns, which the joke is it's like a land of 1,000 lakes. So the land of 1,000 lockdowns, what business do you think would be most happy, most excited about customers walking through the front door? Restaurants. And let me ask you this, and there's not a trick question here. Which business model has been the least thankful, the least appreciative, the least, oh my God, we're so happy to be open. Oh my God, we're so happy that you're here type of business in Michigan? Restaurants. Liz and I have went to, as soon as we opened up about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Liz and I went like the next day we ate out. The next day we went out to dinner. I think the next day we went out with some friends to a different dinner, a different restaurant. And dude, I don't know if they're just not sharp because they haven't been open for 6 months. I don't know if they're in the panic state. Frankly, as a customer, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what baggage you're dealing with that day. I don't care what the customer said before you. I don't care what the customer is going to say ahead of you. You have one opportunity to make a first impression or initial impression when I come and meet you, whether it's at a restaurant or anywhere else in life. Put on your happy face. Nobody cares about your problems. I don't. The customer doesn't. Nobody does. They want to patron your business. Put on your happy face. You want to make a sale. You want to sell them something. You want to do whatever. Put on your happy face and treat that person like, holy Jesus, that's the only customer that came through the door that whole day. That's not the case with a single restaurant that I've been to in the last 3 to 4 weeks or experienced in the last 3 to 4 months. Every Chipotle I go to, they hate us. Every time I go to B-Dubs, no thank yous, no thank you for coming in, nothing. Horrible customer experience. We go to little mom and pop restaurants. You think they would be like just and I'm not saying like about Liz and I or, us. Like that's not I'm sure they're nice to some people, right? But the reality is that you guys have been running on fumes for 12 months and you're not treating every customer that comes in like royalty. To me is shocking. To me, it's shocking that these people are not more thankful. And I'm not saying like they should be more thankful, but I'm saying you've been closed for 6 months, 9 months. I think you would want to have your customers there than not there. Considering that as soon as restaurants opened up and everybody's got a little stimmy money, they can go pretty much anywhere. You think that those people would be grateful, thankful, exceedingly thankful that a customer walks in through the door. Restaurants, in my opinion, have been pretty much the worst in terms of customer service out of 20, 30 different restaurants I've been to in the last 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months. It's shocking to me. Okay. So restaurants, you guys get a fail. You guys get an F-. For somebody who has been struggling the most, they have also become the least appreciative. And by the way, when you go to a restaurant and you want to go back to that restaurant, do you go back because of the food? Do you go back because of the experience? Or do you go back because somebody said, hey, their server said, hey, you guys are a great table. Love to have you guys back. If you come back, my name's David. Come on back, ask for me. I usually work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm off Saturday, and I work Sundays, off Monday. If you guys are ever coming back in, ask for me for the hostess stand. Love to take care of you guys and have you as one of my tables. I appreciate you coming in. That's customer service. That's somebody I want to go back to. I want to be a regular for somebody who appreciates me. And what is a server, by the way? Somebody who serves you, somebody who takes care of you. It's not somebody who's just a food runner, drops the food off at the table and says, there you go. And then you go, hey, do you mind if I get a refill? Do you mind if I get a little ketchup? Can I get a little ranch? Can I get some mustard? Can I get some hot sauce? Whatever. No. When somebody says, oh man, I can't believe these people are asking for more stuff. Like horrible attitude. And I'm not saying that that's just Applebee's or B-Dubs or, the local mom and pop shop. That's like 9 out of 10 restaurants that I've been to in the last 3 to 6, 12 weeks. But man, if you want to do good, what can you learn from the customer service aspect from a restaurant? Treat people like they're royalty. Treat people and be thankful. Thank Jesus that they walked through your door. Thank God that people who have an unlimited amount of options at 6 p.m. on a Friday, they chose to come to your restaurant. Look at your lawn care business. People have, honestly, unlimited options out there for lawn care landscapers, hardscapers. Thank God they chose to call you. Treat them like royalty. Treat them like you're thankful that they're there, that they're not an inconvenience, that you appreciate them. Shocking thought. And then, by the way, treat them like you want them to come back. Treat them to the point where they want to come back. We do that with our lawn care customers all the time. We always end emails with, thank you for going with us. We know you have options. Thank you for your business. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your continued partnership. I sign off every email like that from every customer I talk to. And many of you guys that shoot me emails, I always say, hey, thanks for writing in. Thank you for taking the time to write into me. Thank you. I always say thank you. Okay. So here's what I want to do. That was me just, beating a dead horse with restaurants. That was me just showing some observations between Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. I got a couple good ones coming up about trying to spend $100,000 and you can't figure it out. Not from my end, but people won't return phone calls, not once, but twice on 2 different purchases. And then also want to talk about the airlines, what they get right, what they get wrong. And like I said, finish this up with Chip and Joanna Gaines. So let's do this really quick. Let's kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, to give you guys some of the most up-to-date, incredible, announcements, show sponsors, and we will come right on back.
No doubt that some of you have tuned into this podcast because you've just started or you want to start your own lawn care or landscaping business. Brian has created the How to Start Your Own Lawn Care Business training program. This video course will help you understand the basics and get you moving in the right direction. Some of the topics covered: the startup phase and laying a great foundation, the basics of equipment shopping and purchasing, what to look for when you're shopping for a trailer. I really like the all things marketing and advertising section. The practical tips here alone are worth the cost. The How to Start Your Own Lawn Care Business training program also shows you how to bid and estimate projects. That's helpful just to even see if you want to take on some projects. Brian also shows you best practices for back-end office work and proper workflow. Click the link in the show description for LawEntrepreneurAcademy.com and get the How to Start Your Own Lawn Care Business training program for only $99. And join the thousands of people that we've helped achieve success with their lawn care company.
All right, good deal, guys. Well, let's just jump right back into it. Like I said, I want to land the plane here, a little over half hour, 45-minute episode. Not a super lengthy one, but for all of you guys that are getting back out there in the season, man, rock and roll. Hope you guys are having a beautiful spring, prosperous spring and summer. And this is just another fun episode that I get to hopefully help you guys have a more successful day and a little shot of motivation in your arm. I don't know. This is probably firing you guys up like it is me. All right. Some of the episodes, by the way, a little bit more nicer. Like I said, I've been double fisting coffees all morning, and this is what happens when Fullerton gets 8 hours of sleep and he's up by 10 a.m. So I was at Greg Woodstock, the Pond Guys Aquascape, and he was giving me so much crap. He's like, well, the construction crew is going to meet together at 6:30. We'll break ground at 7. We'll do this at 7:30 and then this at 8. I go, well, I said, I don't get up till 8 or 9 or 10 in the off season. I said, that's just a rule. He goes, he just looked at me, and then I looked back at him and he realized I wasn't kidding. And I said, it's the off season, bro. I said, but where are you guys at midnight, 12, 1, 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning? He goes, this place is empty. I said, well, that's when I do all my best work. So anyway, some people are morning people. Some people are evening, night owl people. I'm a night owl for sure. All right, let's talk about the airlines. The airlines are, the airlines suck. Almost every airline experience, for the most part, is awful. Delta's usually pretty good. American was pretty good, but not so much. United's the only one that hasn't failed me lately. So, but there's still time. There's still time, right? Delta. Let's talk about Delta versus everybody else. Delta is flying is like a status thing. It used to be a status thing. People used to wear suits and ties. People used to wear hats, suits and ties. The girls would wear dresses. It was a very luxurious thing. It was just like cruises, just like taking a boat ride, a steamliner. It is a luxurious thing. In fact, they still play to that. We are now loading first class. We're now loading Delta Sky Miles, Medallion members, Medallion Q Plus, Silver Q Medallion, Platinum Q Medallion, Gold Twinkle Star, Gold Platinum Medallion, and you feel like a loser when you're the last one to open up the plane or get on the plane, right? Well, and that's fine. God bless them. It's just funny, the people that walk on first, like in first class, they bought in, man. They drink the Kool-Aid. Oh, I'm a first class person. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just take the back seat in the back with the goats, me and Caleb Allman back there, so, but Delta, watch their training videos. Their training videos, every one of their people are wearing suits and ties. The ladies are wearing dresses and blouses and like the little scarf. They look pretty. They look well put together, well kempt. It looks like you are riding a luxurious first class experience, which is that trip destination from where you're at to where you're going. Some people sell a flight. Some people are selling an experience. When I go to Spirit, they're just selling me a flight. They're trying to get me from point A to point B. When I go on Delta, although I am going from point A to point B, they're selling me an experience. And that's a big difference. Somebody's cutting grass, somebody else is having their property maintained so they don't have to worry about it on the weekends. It was one of my old taglines on my YouTube videos, take back your weekends. That's for the customers. Hey, you don't need to be worrying about your lawn on the weekend. You need to be hanging out with your kids. So I'm not selling my customers lawn care. I'm selling them an experience on the weekend. It's a 10 a.m. tea time, or it's a 10 a.m. softball pitch back and forth with their 4-year-old son. Okay, that's the difference between selling somebody a product or service and selling somebody an event, an experience. Okay, Spirit, United, American, they sell a destination, in my opinion. Delta, they're selling an experience. You go on the Delta trip, on a Delta flight, it's how can I help you? Do you guys want some water, some coffee, some this, some that? Do you want something extra? Just always good customer service for the most part. Now, I'm sure somebody's got a bad Delta experience too. And I have a horrible American Airlines experience. And I'm sure you guys have great American Airlines experiences. But the most part, airlines are frustrating. And again, what's the most frustrating part typically about a flight? Is it the flight, or is it typically the airport and TSA? Okay, and I'm not throwing TSA under the bus. They got a job to do too. Although I've never had a great experience with TSA. I always get flagged. I always get profiled. I always get a bag rejected. And I always got to do something, jump through some hoop. And I'm pretty much the most inconspicuous white boy that has ever walked through an airport ever. I look as Midwest as possible. I mean, unless I was wearing New Balances, I couldn't fit the mold more better of just being a regular dude. And who gets pulled every time? Me. It's ridiculous. But you know what TSA could do? I know they got a job. I know they're like, cops, and I know they're officers or patrol people or whatever they're classified as, DHS. But, even though they're a government issued agency and organization, I'm trying to frame this thought. The reality is that I'm still a freaking customer utilizing the airport. And in one way, shape, or form, those people work for me. Okay. They don't work for me because of my tax dollars. I'm not taking the hoity-toity route. I'm saying I'm a customer. My fees, some way, shape, or form, or my taxes, some way, shape, or form, are going into DHS that's filtering through TSA. And you know what TSA does? They typically, and I'm saying typically like 99 times out of 100, make it the most unenjoyable experience ever going through an airport. Who would want to fly? Who would want to go through an airport? Who would want to do any of that stuff? Who wants to take their 7, 8, 10-year-old kid, 2-year-old kid through TSA when all TSA is doing, they got a job to do? Let's walk this line delicately. But TSA, are they going out of your way to make you enjoy the experience, to make it easier for you? Typically, no. I don't care if you're pregnant. I don't care if whatever. They are the most unwork with you type people ever. Okay. And I think that they could learn a little bit about some customer service, because whether my taxes pay for them or my fees for my flight go back to the airport to take, to pay all those people's salaries, the experience that I receive going through TSA has made me go insane. It's made me go insane to the point where I'm now trying to look at getting my private pilot's license in the next 2 years. I want to look at getting a Cessna. I want to get a freaking, what is it? An M600, ML600, Piper Matrix or Mirage. I'm done with TSA. I'm done with the airports. And I heard a really good quote the other day. And by the way, I'm not a hero. I don't have that money. I don't have a, $1 million, $2 million laying around for an airplane, or, $100 grand laying around for an airplane. But I heard a really good quote the other day on Instagram. It was from Elon Musk. It said, figure out a way to make something that's going to take 10 years, only take 6 months, and watch your brain go to work. And I thought about it this morning. I'm like, man, I got these really cool things that I want to accomplish by the time I'm 40, 5, 6 years from now. I want to do this. I want to do that. Man, like in 3 or 4 years, that's going to be really cool. And now, you know what my brain's thinking? No way, dude. That's not going to work. Let's figure out how to get this done in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. What do I got to do? What do I got to get in place? What do I got to start work? It just, oh my God, it just made me light a fire under my belly, or under my feet to figure out these bottlenecks. I don't want to have kids that are, 7, 3, and 2 and have to take my family through TSA and watch my kids get groped or touched by some random, dude, or my wife or me. It's a burning need and desire. It's not a want. That is a need. I can no longer, and I'm not above it. I'm talking just like you guys do. You guys hate this stuff too. You guys hate going to restaurants and not getting served. You guys hate going to airlines and airports and not being treated like your first class. You guys hate being treated like, pond scum. And all these people, you know what they all have in common? Zero customer service. And it's excruciatingly frustrating. I'm frustrated, just me and my wife. I can only imagine when we're lugging 3 extra carry-ons for the kids and my wife, a baby stroller and a car seat, this and that, and going through TSA. I know that in 5 years, 7 years, I'm going to have those bottlenecks. And you know what? It is making me more fired up than to buy the stupid Tesla, build my stupid home, buy a little stupid pole barn, buy a stupid Kubota tractor. No, I'm like, dude, 5 years from now, I need to make sure that this problem is solved. So when my kids are, a little bit younger, we don't have to go through the kicking and screaming and the whining and the purging and the invasiveness of the stupid airport experience. So everybody's got their motivation. Everybody's got their why. Everybody's got their needs, needs versus wants. My need is I can't stay in the airport. The more I do it, the more I travel for like YouTube stuff, the more I hate it because I hate going through TSA. Okay. Experiences, good or bad. Customer service, good or bad. These are just some examples. Okay. Let's keep going. I got some positivity here by the end, I promise. So I hope you guys are deriving some like observations from this podcast. It's not just me ranting, hopefully. I want you to understand there's opportunities to take care of your customer and make sure that they feel good and make sure that the last taste in their mouth was a good experience from you. And people always ask me again, here's the premise of this whole conversation, the preface. What is the best way to grow your business? What's the thing I can do to grow fast? What's the thing I can do to grow the most? What's the number one thing I can do? Any tips you can give me? Have good customer service. Treat the customer like they're everything. Okay. And by the way, I'm not going to go into the whole other, antithesis of customers are always right, because I don't think they always are. I don't want to spend all that time right now. Like when you have a bad customer who's like berating you or beating you down or a jerk, like drop those people, get that negativity out of your life. Another podcast for another time. So let's keep going. I wanted to talk about Tesla. I love Tesla. Tesla's my fam. I'm a fan of Tesla. By the way, when we launched this podcast last year, I was like, yo, you should buy Tesla, man. It's only $170 a share or whatever. And I think 3 months later it was at like 600. I think 3 months later it was at like 1,500. And then, it's plus or minus every day, like 1,800 or whatever it is, So you get, we're not giving out financial advice here, but I told you, buy Tesla. I actually just bought a Tesla instead, but whole nother story. So funny thing with Tesla though, as fun as a car it is, and I love it. It is a really, really cool car. Everybody's like, was it worth it? Yes, 100%. We took, for all you guys that are new to the show, I took all the money we made from social media, literally put it in a separate account. Nothing we're building or buying or doing right now is out of anything from YouTube. Okay. Now the pole barn will be, maybe some of the landscaping for the house will be, but we're still deriving everything that we buy right now still from the lawn care income from our salaries. We just banked it. We just banked the media company. We live like it wasn't part of our income because I didn't want to touch it. I didn't know if it would go away. Didn't know if it would grow. I don't know. Like I never saw myself doing YouTube, guys. You know what I mean? So all that money we just banked. And after 5 years, we accumulated enough to buy the stupid car. So I bought the Tesla, but I will tell you that it was a fun experience. It was a pretty simple experience, to be honest. Buy the car on the website, have your credit union transfer money, have you transfer your, wire transfer for your share and all this other stuff. But there was quite a few times in the process where I'm trying to spend $100,000, more than $100,000 on a car, and I couldn't get a hold of somebody. Nobody would email me back. Nobody would call me back. Like crazy stuff. And I'm like, I'm trying to spend $100,000 on a car, and I cannot get somebody to call me back. This went on for about 2 weeks. And I was like, dude, nobody will call me back. I'm leaving voicemails. This is the number. I know somebody's calling me back from this number. Nobody's calling me back now. 2-3 weeks at a time. Nobody would call me back. They were dragging their feet. Where's the car at? Where's my wire transfer at? All this different stuff. And I don't know. Liz and I had this like interesting personal observation about ourselves, right? Because imagine this. I'm frustrated with certain things. Why don't people work faster? Why is customer service so poor? Why is customer service so bad? Why can't people figure this out? And it's kind of like that broken finger analogy. You guys ever heard the broken finger analogy where the kid goes to the doctor? Hey, touch your nose, it hurts. Hey, touch your elbow, it hurts. Hey, touch your knee, it hurts. Well, I think I found out what it is. And the kid's like, well, no, what could it be? And he goes, you just have a broken finger, which it means it's your attitude, right? And I'm like, do we have a bad attitude? Like check up from the neck up? I said, Liz and I had this really introspective conversation. You know what I realized? It wasn't us. We didn't have a bad attitude. We have a great attitude. We realized that we started valuing our time. We realized that we really started to value our self-worth, our time with other people, our time together, and our free time. And it's really, really interesting because people always ask me, how do you know what to charge? And I said, It's hard to say because I don't know how much you value your worth. I don't know how much you value your time. I don't know how much you value your life force. I don't know how much you value being together with your wife or kids. Well, this guy charges $40 for a lawn and this guy charges $30 for a lawn. Does he charge $30 for a lawn, or does he just value his life less because he's willing to charge less for his time to cut that lawn? Right? Because if you think about it, in a business, typically we're trading time for money. So what Liz and I had realized over the last 12, 18, 24 months, as we had more opportunities available to us, as we had a little bit more money coming in, we had a couple different opportunities available, and we treated our time very differently the last 2 years versus how we did the first 5 years we were married and the first 10 years I run my lawn and landscape business. We're growing. We're evolving. You guys listening to the show, you're growing. You're evolving. The way you guys value certain things, you probably don't value as much anymore. And as you get older, the more other things that you have going on in your life, you probably value that more. For example, when you were young, you didn't care about your time. When you get older and you have 2 kids, you get as much work done between 8 and 4 because you want to go home and see your family. When you're young, it's all about work. When you're older, that interest kind of shifts. You still got to do the work. You still have to figure out how to be productive and efficient, but you want to spend time with your wife. You want to spend time with your family. At least that's my story. Okay. And so that fulcrum tips. And so Liz and I had realized that these customer service experiences, you know what they were typically revolved around? It wasn't money. It actually usually isn't money, shockingly, right? You would think like, man, I had this bad customer service experience. And have you ever heard anybody say it wasn't, they didn't get a refund, they didn't get their food remade, they didn't have somebody give them back a gift card for the inconvenience? Typically, no. They always complain about a bunch of different other things. And if you really distill that down, you know what it comes down to? You're wasting my damn time. You're wasting my time. When I go through the airport and I go through TSA, it's not the invasive, borderline, intrusive tests and swabs and, checking my bags. It's the fact that they're wasting my time. When I go through a different airport and the airplane's late, it's not that I didn't enjoy riding on the airplane. It's that you're wasting 10, 20, 30 minutes. Liz and I had like a 1.5 hour layover. Not a layover. We were on the tarmac or whatever for like an hour one day. And I'm like, this is literally the stupidest thing ever. And what was it? You were wasting my time. When I go through Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, and Chick-fil-A is fast, and Chick-fil-A gets my order right, and I don't have to circle back because you put pickles on my stupid burger. You know what that is? You're wasting my time at McDonald's. It wasn't the $9 I spent or the $4 I spent. It was the fact that you're wasting my time. And so if you want to get good at customer service and you want to get good in business, you know what most people are? They're time poor. Yeah, some people have money. Some people have more money than others, whatever. But one thing that we all have every day is 24 hours in a day. And how many people, let me ask you this, how many people enjoy going to the Apple store? I love it. I think it's really fun, but I actually hate it. I despise it. I dread it. Same thing with Verizon. Why do I hate going to Verizon? Why do I hate going to the Apple store? Because it's always a 1.5 to 3 hour visit. And I'm not saying they're wasting my time. And I'm not saying that they're not moving fast. And I'm not saying that the product or the project that they're working on isn't a 1.5 to 3 hour job in their defense. But what are they doing? They're, in my opinion, wasting my time. They're taking 3 hours of my time. And if I only got a 12, 14, 16 hour day and you just took a fourth of my day, I get frustrated, right? So let's continue on. Tesla, God bless them, love them. But dude, I'm trying to wire these people a gap between what I'm wiring them and what my credit union is wiring them. Not bad customer service, but they wasted my time. People weren't getting back with me, shockingly. Another one, I'm trying to build a pole barn, buy a pole barn. You would be surprised that if I told you that I sent 3 different phone calls, 3 different emails out, it took 3 to 4 days for people to get back in touch with me about a ticketed item that's going to be $75,000 to $125,000. Unbelievable. Customers call us, and if we don't call them right back, they're on to the next person for a $35 cut. If somebody called you and said, hey, if they're calling you like they're interested, and probably 2/3 of those leads are probably interested people, 1/3 are people shopping around wasting time. But if somebody called you and you're selling pole barns and you don't call that person back within an hour, I don't know what is left. I mean, how dumb are you? I'm trying to spend $125,000. And look, it's not me. I'm not a hero. I'm not like looking for privilege or like special treatment or anything like that. But dude, if somebody's spending $10,000 with you, treat me like I'm royalty. Give me some water. Give me a bag of Cheez-Its. I'm not needy. I'm not whiny. I don't need extra, but treat me like I'm actually spending $10,000. I know you, Mr. Salesman, sell $10,000 things every day, 3-4 times a day. If you didn't, you wouldn't be in business. I know that you spend, or Mr. Pole barn builder, you spend, you build $100,000 pole barn probably once every week. You have a completed project. I get it. But to me and my family, this is one thing we do every 50 years. So treat me like it's going to be a fun experience. Give me a phone call back. Email me back. Don't call me 4 days later and say, yeah, something, I got your email a couple days ago and I was just busy out of town. I don't even want to hear it, bro. I don't even want to hear it. Don't tell me why you didn't get in touch with me, because all I feel like is you made me less of a priority. And by the way, imagine the flip side. Somebody calls you and you say, the truck was broke down. This was going on. My guys quit. We had equipment, flat tires. My mower was broke down. Dude, they don't care. They don't care. You know why? Because I don't care. You don't care. Just get the job done. What does that come down to? Good customer service. Do the right thing. Don't waste time. Answer voicemails. Get back with people. If you have complaints, fix them. If people are indifferent, make them fans. Don't ignore people. Don't be annoying people. Right? Little things like this. P's and Q's. Thank people. Appreciate them. Appreciate their business. Appreciate their time. Right? Call people back. Clear out your voicemail. Right? How many of you guys right now, listening to this thing right now, probably have a full voicemail? And customers can't even call you back. And you keep shooting me DMs or making YouTube videos telling me how you're going to slay it this year and you're going to go get 50 new customers. I'm like, how? Are they going to text you? Are they going to mail you? Your voicemail's filled up. And I get it. When you're 17, 19, it's kind of societally, culturally cool to have a filled up voicemail box or to not have this voicemail set up. If I call somebody and they don't have a voicemail that's set up, they don't get my business. You're a toddler in the game of life and in the game of business. I don't care if you're 40. I don't care if you're 19. I don't care if you're Mark Zuckerberg. If your voicemail's not set up, I'm not doing business. If your voicemail's not set up right now and you don't fix that, shame on you. Shame on you. Nobody's treating you serious. I do $200,000 in business. I don't care. People think you're a joke. Set up your voicemail. Clear out your voicemail. You guys listen to the podcast. This is not entertainment. We're teaching how to grow a successful life, a successful business. Now, I'm not your boss. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm giving you suggestions about what I know works for me. I'm looking at my phone right now. I have one voicemail set up in my inbox right now, and that's with Rick with Snow Plows, and I got to call him back in about an hour. Okay, I have one voicemail in my inbox. Okay, every time you go to the bathroom, instead of getting on stupid Instagram and Facebook, clear out your voicemails for 10 minutes, then go, do stupid stuff on Instagram. Seriously, clear out your voicemails when you're in the bathroom. Every one of you guys listening to the podcast, you go to the bathroom once or twice a day. You spend 20 minutes in there. God bless you. Clear out your voicemail. That's when I clear out mine. I do not get to go on Facebook or Instagram. It's a system. Right? It's a habit. It's a system I made that I said, I can never seem to clear out my voicemails. Now I got 18. Call them back when you're in the office. Nobody's going to care. Put a towel over your head. Call somebody back. It takes down the ambience from the tile in the bathroom. Little pro tip there. Call them back. Nobody knows the difference. I call 90% of my customers back when I'm in the office or driving home between 5 and 6 p.m. because that's when I know they're driving back home. All right. Last thing I want to talk about is other great customer service, like positive customer service stories. And we'll button this thing up really quick. Chip and Joanna Gaines, the Silos, Magnolia, they got it going on. When you look at Chip and Jo, I think joy. I think happiness. I think positivity. I think light, fluffy, airy, happy, but butt kickers. Okay. Those people came from absolutely nothing. He actually had Chip had a lawn and landscaping business when he was younger. I didn't know that. We were reading his book and I said, that's incredible. That's awesome. Good to know. When you go to Magnolia and you go to the Silos, I think Magnolia is the store and the Silos is like that whole outdoor, probably like a 5 or 10 acre park thing that they built down in Waco, Texas. Absolutely beautiful. By the way, little plug for Together in the Trades. That's the marriage couples conference that we're doing down there with the Almonds. Friday, we're going to try to do a meetup at the Silos in Magnolia. Saturday is the one-day event, the seminar. It's going to be a really good time. We were trying to get all you guys down there that, are trying to get your wives down to a marriage couples conference and hang out with other lawn care bros. We were like, well, that's going to be a tough sell. And then Brittany or Liz or Together or one of them, whatever, had this brilliant thought saying, let's do it where Chip and Jo have Magnolia in the Silos. and we'll just kind of bribe the wives to come on down and spend a couple days there. By the way, some of you guys have been there in the last couple of weeks, tagging me on Instagram because it's a beautiful spot. And all the guys even said, awesome time. It's a beautiful spot, beautiful area. Just so much fun out there. And so that's where we're going to be down there. June 12th, I think, is the event. If you want a ticket, check out the links in the description for this show, my wife's Instagram, my Instagram, or the Almonds Instagram. But Chip and Jo, everywhere we went, those people that work for them are incredible. I mean, it was literally the nicest culture of people I have ever seen outside of like standard Chick-fil-A people. And I'm dead serious. When we were down there, we walked in, hey, welcome to the Silos. Welcome to Magnolia. Oh, I love your hat. I love your scarf. I love your shoes. Everybody that was walking in, the girls were giving compliments. The girls, they're all in like little booties. They're all in like jeans with the cuff rolled up on the bottom. They're in like these nice white, sweater shirts that are like kind of mid-arm length. They just look kind of hipster, but cute hipster. And everybody's wearing like a little fedora, a little hat. Like they're all kind of like cute, working it, kind of girls at the Magnolia restaurant and all around the Silos. All the guys are wearing nice brown shoes. They're wearing nice jeans. They're wearing button front shirts, or they're wearing the merch of the store that they represented. There's a bunch of little stores there on the concourse. And Liz and I are just people watching. We're looking, we're observing. What's the experience, right? The experience starts when we are walking up to the Silos, not when we walk into Magnolia. And it's clean all the way around. Maybe if you guys are, you got your trucks and your trailers and they're not washed. Wash your trucks, man. Take once a week, wash them. Once a month, wash them. Clean out your trucks once a month. My guys know when we fuel up, trash goes out. That's a system. They know. If you don't jump out, nobody stands in the truck when we fuel up. If that guy sits in the truck when you fuel up, kick him off your crew, off your team. I don't care how good he is on a trimmer or mower. He's not a team player. When we show up, everybody fuels up. Everybody cleans out the trucks. If the windows are dirty, somebody grabs a squeegee and washes it down. Everybody's got a role. Everybody works. Nobody's getting a free lunch ever. Okay. It doesn't mean time to lean, time to clean. I'm not like a Nazi like that, but I'm saying everybody's got a small role. Well, when you go to Magnolia, everybody's got a small role. When you go there, there's guys walking around, they're, selling stuff, or just customer service folks. They're always telling stories. They're telling stories. Yeah, this is where Dr. Pepper was founded. This is where, Chip and Jo bought this place and it was, not looking so hot. And they kind of transformed this whole town. Everybody was excited to see us. When I would say a funny joke, the girls would kick back and they would say a funny joke. When Liz said, hey, I'm expecting, they said, oh my God, what is it? Like, do you guys know yet? Like, when's it due? Oh my God, I'm having a baby too. You can't even see, I'm not showing, but I'm due in October. And somebody else would say, well, I'm due in, June. I'm June, July. Oh my God, you're a July baby too. And you guys are like, well, that's kind of dorky, but it's customer service. Somebody cares. They're building a relationship. Liz and I still go, hey, remember that girl that we saw at the one store that sold us the notebooks when we were in there? Yeah, she was really nice. And she was from, I think Wisconsin. And she moved her whole life from Wisconsin down to Waco, Texas, just to go work for Chip and Jo. How many people do you guys have moving to come work for you? How many people, I'm asking myself this question, how many people do you have coming down highways, moving careers, leaving families to come work for you, your company, your brand? What would they have to believe in to go work for you, your company, or your brand? Man, that's just like some fantastic thought where you could really just take this podcast, hit pause, write down some things on a notepad, and get better with your business, get better with your life. What's the ideal boss? What's the ideal place to work at? What are my people looking for? That's something I'm always striving to, is how can we get better, right? The whole customer experience at Chip and Jo's place could be summed up by this girl who said, yeah, I said, well, we were doing this couple conference. We're told them we're scoping out the whole area, the whole place. And she goes, yeah, like that'd be awesome if you guys get like Chip and Jo in. And we're like, yeah, we tried, we asked, but unfortunately their assistant got back with us and declined. They're just busy. And she goes, I know if Chip and, this is exactly what the girl said. She goes, I know if they had time, they definitely would have. But right now, everything Chip and Jo are doing is turning into gold. And you know what? They're the nicest people you've ever met. And that's why. They're so helpful. They're so kind. They're so caring. And they come here about once a week. We get to see them. And they always come after hours once the place is closed, because if they did, they'd get mobbed during the day. But they're good people. They're genuine people. It's one of those things where I always strive for that kind of experience with myself and Liz. Like that's something I personally always strive to. I want people to have good customer experiences with me. right? And it sounds kind of weird, but if you meet me, if you talk to me, if we hang out, if we do a coaching call, we do an email, even a comment or an Instagram, I just want to be nice. I want to treat you guys right. I want to be putting my best foot forward because I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I pinch myself every day that we have this like YouTube thing going on, this Instagram thing going on, and this podcast thing going on. I mean, who would have thought this was not in the cards 5 years ago? Liz and I literally, by the way, we're trying to trade in one of our MacBooks to maybe buy a new MacBook because mine is actually really old. It's from 2016. And we were just going through this little case study timeline. I bought Liz that camera, our little Canon T6i, little first DSLR in December, for under the Christmas tree. I think we realized we got to edit the videos. So I spent like our last, $800 on this camera. Liz actually went to apply for a MacBook. We get the MacBook and it was like, $1,800. Dude, that might as well be $80,000 today, right? I say that a lot of times because it's got to like be a bigger number to like, impress anybody nowadays because $1,500 for a laptop is kind of like a cheap laptop. But it was $1,700 and we bought that in July or in January. And I'm like, dude, do you know how stupid we were to spend our last $800 on a camera and then finance? I remember the first payment was like $40 a month. Then in like February or March, it was like $60 a month. And I'm like, whoa. I thought it was $40 a month every month. Like that was the idea. And then I call up Apple, like, no, it's like a cascading payment. So it starts at 40, then 70, then 100. Then it gets to your regular payment of like $133 a month for, 18 months. And I went, oh my God. Like I thought it was $40 a month. We're screwed. So what was the incentive? Make YouTube videos, try to make, I think my first, month doing YouTube, I made like 9 cents. I think the second month I made like, $12. I'm just kidding. It was no way there was that much. But we come from such humble beginnings where we don't take any of this for granted. We don't take any of you guys for granted. We don't take anything that's given to us, provided for us. Toro wants to send us something. Xmark wants to send us something. Like, come on, come on. Let's just be real. Come on, man. Let's just be realistic. We're just having fun. We're thankful. And so I want you guys to also have that spirit of excellence out there when you guys approach your business, when you guys approach customers out there. Okay. Have good customer experiences. Be nice to people. Thank you. I know right now it's such an anti-culture message where everybody did the other person wrong. Nobody's having conversations. Nobody wants to hear the other side. People are content with no longer caring to hear the other side. Okay. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to pick up the phone. Nobody wants to go build relationships for 2 hours at a Starbucks talking to somebody about how to get their life better. They just want a YouTube video. They just want a training program. They just want a silver bullet fix. Okay. You don't build relationships through text. Okay. You don't build relationships through email. You build relationships through a live event. You build relationships through customer service experiences where you get to meet people face to face or on the phone. Okay. All of my customers, when I see them in person, I absolutely shake their hand, fist bump, give them a hug. Hey, nice to meet you. Hey, I know it's June. Thanks so much for going with us again this year. We super appreciate the business. We know you have options. Like, honestly, thank you for going with us. Honey, of course. Like, you guys have been doing this for 12 years. You guys do an amazing job. Just keep up the good work. I know. Thank you. We appreciate it. But you know what? Thank you. Thank you for going with us this year. We really, really appreciate it. And you know what? You have that spirit of thankfulness, that spirit of humility, that of humbleness, right? I don't lose that at all. You know why? Because and I don't know if it's just baked into me. So, again, 95% of people think I'm a nice person. They probably love me. They appreciate me like I appreciate you guys. 5% people probably think I'm a narcissistic, butthole. And it's just interesting because they don't have my phone number saved in their phone. They've never talked to me. So I saw a great Instagram meme. It said, if you don't have my phone number and you haven't talked to me in the last 3 months, then you have no business giving an opinion about me because you don't even know me. And that's a fact. And every single person that's ever made a YouTube video on me or commented about me, something negative, which is just bizarre, they haven't even talked to me. They don't even know me. They don't even listen to our content. They're outsiders making an opinion. So how much credence should I give them? Bingo, 0. But the bottom line is that we always want to have those great customer service experiences out there. We always want to treat people right. And I just gave you some great case studies. Chick-fil-A, P's and Q's, man. When you're talking about the airlines, make it fun. Make it a fun experience. Even if it's a tough process, keep people posted, keep people up to date. We're going to be going through a home building process. And the guy goes, you know what? The number one thing we value is communication. Our friend Mike, he said, we want to let you guys know where we're at every step of the way. If you see no movement on the property for 3 weeks, that's by design. But just know I will keep you posted. And I need communication. And some of your customers need more, some of them need less. Tesla, great car, awesome people, love Elon, right? For sure. I was shocked at how little urgency they put on getting back with me. Same thing with different pole barn builders that I've been trying to reach out to. I know they're busy. I know they're booked. I'm sure it's the busy season. I don't care. Your customer doesn't care. You guys don't care. Why should I care? Treat me right. As soon as I call, get back with me in 24 or 48 hours. Don't be waiting a week to return a bid, a week to return a phone call, a week to return an estimate. And then Chip and Joe, in my experience, my observation, have just it going on. Everywhere you go, people are nice. They're kind. They're thankful that you're there. And they want to know about you. It was such a fun experience. So maybe these are some helpful tips out there. If I ruffled a few feathers out there, sorry, not sorry. Let's all grow up. Let's get our thick skin on and let's kick butt. You guys are business owners. You guys don't need a soft shoe answer or, me lobbing you guys a little softball here. Like this is real life. And I want to see you guys grow. I want to see you guys win. I want to see you guys crush it. And so all things being said, as always, I'm going to sign off with me saying what I normally do is appreciate you guys listening. Thank you so much for letting me speak into your life for a few minutes. Hopefully gave you guys some motivation, some encouragement. Hey, I'll tell you what, man, we are fired up. We are excited. We've got about 20, 30 plus podcasts already in the queue coming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, without fail, 7 a.m. So if you guys are just finding the show, thank you for joining on. If you guys are part of the regular crew, you guys are awesome. We couldn't do it without you and the support, the social proofing and all that mess. Hey, if you guys are new to the show, before we jump into the super busy part of the season through March, April, May, June, can you guys do me a big solid? If you get anything out of the show, I always ask and appreciate if you guys can just leave a quick rating. Can you just leave a quick 5-star rating? No 4 stars, no 4.5 stars. It doesn't help the algorithm. If you hate me, just do 1 star. You know what I'm saying? Like just do us all a solid. That way we're not confused with 2, 3s, and 4s because I never know how to interpret 2, 3s, and 4s on Amazon. So maybe it's the same way with my podcast, but just having some fun. 2, it's like, well, I liked it, but the packaging was ruffled. So I don't know if I like the product. Well, was anything wrong with the product? No, I just didn't like that my box was gouged. Well, that was UPS. I don't care. 3-star. It's like, whatever, man. So anyway, if you guys appreciate the show, you guys appreciate Marty, what he's doing for the show and bringing it to you guys Monday, Wednesday, Friday, without fail, a lot of time and energy going into this thing, leave us a quick 5-star. You just scroll down on your phone on iTunes where it says the purple unhighlighted stars, scroll over to the right, 5-star. It'll say, thank you for leaving your feedback. And then leave us a quick review, write a review. Like 2 sentences, 3 sentences. Hey, Brian's awesome. He's one of the best looking dudes I know outside of myself. Always appreciate what he's doing for his content to help us, grow a more successful business. Whatever. Come on, son. I'm asking. I'm not going to beg, but I will beg. Don't make me beg. All right. We'll catch up with you guys here. We will be back here in just a couple of days with another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Let's kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, who we super appreciate bringing the show to you guys all the time without fail. Couldn't do without him. Marty, take it away.
By the way, Brian will be a guest next Monday on the Green Industry Podcast with my boy, Paul Jameson. They'll be talking about this highly creative and time-saving postcard program that is now available at LawEntrepreneurAcademy.com. You really can crush your marketing efforts with these proven postcard designs and templates that allow you to put your branding on these catchy designs and get them into the hands of future customers. Don't delay in checking these out at LawEntrepreneurAcademy.com. And please join us on Friday as Brian will be interviewing Sean Spencer of Spencer's Lawn Care on the next edition of the podcast.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.